Hi, we're here at the 2016 PGA Merchandise Show. We're here with Sean with Toulon putters. Our readers are super excited about your new putters. A lot of chatter. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how they came to be and a little bit more about the models?
Well, I went into retirement after spending 16 magnificent years at TaylorMade. That started on the 1st of July. I did it for like 6 days and I was horrible at it. So I had a nice meeting with my sons. And they said, you know, I think we should do something, Dad. You got some gas in the tank left, and maybe we should look at starting a putter company. So we really looked at the industry, and we just felt that at the very, very high end, we could bring some meaningful performance gains and differences to a marketplace that we think had been underserved. So we just concentrated on, we call it performance-driven design. Let's put everything we can into improving the performance, which is sound and feel and roll into a putter, and just do the best job we can. So that's what we've been up to.
A couple of things that I think are obviously of key is, the face milling, first and foremost, is very striking.
Thank you.
People immediately notice it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the face milling?
So we went through, in the prototyping process, 25 different prototypes. And here, what we were after was we wanted versus really, really nice milled putters, and there's a bunch of wonderful ones out there. But if we could create one that sounded and felt a little softer, sounded a little quieter, felt a little softer, and rolled the ball a little bit better, that every time I asked a golfer, would you like that? They all said, yeah, of course we would, right? So we really started to study the science of feel. And it's really kind of simple. I can control what you feel if I can control what you hear. So sound, are you a right-handed golfer?
Yes.
Okay, so you develop your feel from the sound of impact through your left ear. So we know how to do that from all the time that I spent at the other company, was how we can control sound. So that's what the mill patterns were all about. So we started with just beautiful surface ground, perfectly flat putter faces. They were very loud and there wasn't much performance, right? So we wanted softer sound, softer feel, better roll. Then we started to work with different fly cuts and things like that. We started to get sound that was closer to what we wanted, but we weren't getting the performance that we wanted. Then we got, of all things, we got inspired by a car tire. And if you look at just the way a car tire channels water, it's just fluid dynamics. So pressure on it squishes the water out for traction. Sound really works the same way. So we started to think, well, then we have to bring that technology into the face of a putter. So what we started to do, if you can see it, we started to work on all of these. This is about prototype number 15. Different cross hatches, and that was to take the sound and instead of having it go directly to your ear, start to sort of confuse it and have it go out sort of randomly through these little channels. And if less sound comes to your ear, it's going to feel better, it's going to feel softer to you. So by the time we were all done, we ended up with a mill pattern where those little diamonds were about 25 thousandths of an inch deep and almost 25 thousandths of an inch, 25 thousandths of an inch wide and about the same depth. So we got, all of a sudden, it just was like jackpot. Everybody loved it. Then we started to work on roll. So we studied grooves. So when we went into our final production with one sort of little mini groove in the middle of each diamond, we started to get, instead of a little bit of backspin, the right amount of forward spin immediately. So we accomplished what we were after. A little bit better sound, a little quieter sound, and a little bit softer feel and better roll. And people love it.
Fantastic. One of the things also I think people have been following you on Facebook and seeing some of the photos is the soul of the club, the weight system, the different colors. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on what makes that important?
Well, so everybody is different what they like the weights of, and so we developed a system. We wanted it to also be really beautiful and sort of elegant, and there's a lot of ways to weight a putter, but we got our inspiration here from old woodwoods with sole plates, right? So our standard weight of a putter head is 352 grams, and that's when we add, this is an aluminum 7-gram sole plate. So the head and the hosel weigh about 345, and then when we add the sole plate in there, that gets the weight to about 352. So that's really sort of the tour average. But some people like them heavier, and some people like to counterbalance, so we needed options without trying to make the head look bigger and bulkier. So we've developed a stainless steel one that's 20 grams. So when we put that in the bottom of the putter, the head weight jumps to 365. Now we can start to counterbalance that. And then we have a heavier one made out of tungsten, brings the weight all the way to 385. So now we can really counterbalance. So we have lots of options for golfers to really fit them in something that performs better for them.
Fantastic. Last thing I have to ask is the naming scheme. I've seen Madison, San Francisco, obviously cities. Is there something important about the different cities that you've chosen to represent the models?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we didn't want to go TD-001. Putters are really emotional. And I think there's a lot of soul to putters, which is why we were really drawn to this category in the first place. So all of the city names are either names that have been really important to our family or have really kind of cool significance in the game of golf. So Madison is an easy one. That's born and raised, went to school there. That's where I learned how to play. So, and then the artwork that we did on it, we just took a sort of a mid-century modern Art Deco rendition of some iconic landmark. So for Madison, it was the Capitol building. San Diego, our company's founded in San Diego. Sailboat, that's where that came. Rochester, I think, is really cool because that putter is kind of a throwback, a little shorter blade. That's where Walter Hagen is from. He's just totally cool. So we did like an outfit that he wore in like the 1930s in some major championships. That was the logo for that. San Francisco, my two boys went to college and played college golf there. So we have a San Francisco, and the final one is a Memphis, which is just a beautiful, very cool mallet. So we just had fun with it.
Fantastic. Such an exciting new product. Is there anything else that you could think of that, the golfer looking at the premium milled putter that you're bringing to the market would be attracted to?
Sure. I think what they're going to see starting in the middle to end of February, we'll go out on tour. We have a wonderful tour rep. His name is Dave Williams. The tour players know him as Sticky. Not actually sure why, but that's his nickname. They all have nicknames. And David is going to be out there. We're going to attack the tour in a totally different way. We're going to have 12 to 15 players that we're going to approach and just say, we want to be your putter maker. And we've designed the putters, so we have 5 different models, heads, and we're developing a library of 10 different hosels. So it goes together with a process, you can see it online, called vacuum brazing. So we're going to be able to service a tour player when they need something. So they usually come when they're looking for a putter. They have an immediate need.
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to get them a putter in about a week that will solve, the issues that they're looking to have solved. So I think we're going to do really well on tour too.
Fantastic. That's a name you're going to be hearing a lot more about, Toulon Putters. Check them out online. If you have any feedback, let us know. This is David Lopresti with THP TV.